Yeah, you're welcome again today to Agro Optimizer, and you're welcome on board our Maxi-Crop production course. That is Maxi-Crop 1.0. That is the first cohort. And today I will be looking at strategies for profitability and sustainability, just as we've been doing. Today we'll be looking at the module that speaks on crop management. And with me today, okay, before I reveal the facilitator for today onto you, some of you have actually known him before time. I will be having him on the section with us today. I am Stephen Pokwola, the team lead at Agro Optimizer. Some people refer to me as the founder, but I love to be referred to as the team lead at Agro Optimizer. And what we do at Agro Optimizer is that we do all we do to help farmers improve their productivity and profit. So we practically lead farmer from whatsoever level of productivity they have, and we take them into the enviable and desirable level of productivity they really want to achieve, and which is actually possible. And that is what we'll be doing on this course, Maxi-Crop, that is maximizing your crop production, like stepping up your crop production game, that is revealing strategies for increasing your productivity and profitability. And on this course, we've been bringing, we've been having experts from various fields, from various aspects of crop production, to share their knowledge, their experience, and skills with us. And today, again, on this module 6, we'll be looking at crop management. And on this module, we've got an expert, which most of you don't really know him by his real name, but you know him by the name Grand Farmer. So on the stage with me today, we've got Bekitemba Moyo from Zambia with me. So we'll be looking at crop production, that is crop management. Sorry, I think he's trying to fix things on his side over there. So today we'll be looking at aspects that has to do with crop management. We've actually in the previous module we've looked into in the previous module, sorry, in the Moyo, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can get you, Stefan.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I just introduced
Yeah,
you. In the previous module, we've discussed on land preparation, selection of crops, and the likes. And we've even talked on irrigation and water management, as it has to do with maximizing crop productivity and yield, and even sustainability. And I told them today we'll be looking at the crop management. This is my brother from Zambia. I'm glad to actually have you on board today, Moyo. You're welcome.
thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure I've been
Hi,
here.
how is Zambia today?
Zambia is all right. It's hot. It's hot here, very hot. How is
Yeah, I
Nigeria?
know Nigeria too is okay today, and we are entering into the Harmattan season, that is the dry season, which I believe
Okay.
that there is a kind of seasonal difference between Nigeria and Zambia. I think we are living the rain season now. We are living the rain season into the dry season, of which I know
No.
on Zambia it seems you are just entering into the rain-fed season, right?
Yes. This is when the rain season is beginning.
That's very good. It's good to have you here. So Moyo, you have the ground already. You have the ground already.
Yes. No, all right. Welcome everybody. My name is Vegitemba Moyo, also known as the Grand Farmer. A lot of you people out there, I think, know me by the Grand Farmer. Yes. So I welcome you to this module 6 on enhancing crop productivity. Yes. So today I'm going to talk about crop production and how best we can enhance, we can get maximum yield from whatever crop we'll be dealing with. Yes. So as we begin, there's just one simple statement that I want to make in crop production. Crop production can be crucial, but it's easy when you follow all the steps. And one of my working theories and one of my philosophy states that give the soil what it wants and it will give you what you need. Yes, that's where we are going to start our exercise from our training from. We are going to talk about first the soil which includes land preparation and how best we can soil fertility and the like. So on soil preparation is crucial for creating an environment for the crop for whatever crop we are dealing with. Yes. So one thing that I'm going to talk about under land preparation is soil testing and analysis. Yes. So soil testing and analysis. This is not first. I bet this is not the first time that you are hearing this term. Or yes. So on soil preparation, I'm going to talk about soil testing. Soil testing is important as for it tells you the soil profile, what type of nutrients your soil have, what it lacks and what it needs, the pH value of the soil, and everything. So, yes. I can continue, Stefan. Hello? No, no, right.
You can continue. You can
So,
continue.
no, right. So, I'm going to talk on the methods of soil testing. There is one which you can do on your farm, which is using simple materials that you can find in your household. That's vinegar and baking powder. What do you call baking powder in Nigeria or other in any other country?
It is also called baking powder. It is called the same
Yes.
baking powder.
No,
Yeah.
all right, all right, all right. So I'm going to share with you how you can test your soil pH, yeah, whether it's alkaline or it's acidic on your farm without just taking it to the lab. It will give you an overview whether your soil is acidic or whether your soil is alkaline. So you are going to sample your soil. When sampling your soil, let's say you are using a 1 hectare land or a 1 acre plot. That's a plot that you want to use. So you are just going to collect your soil in the corner, the middle. Yes. You are just going to sample your soil in the corners, the middle, and the boundaries of your land. After sampling your soil, you are going to mix it. After mixing it, you are going to get maybe a cup of maybe 500 grams of your soil. You are going to label it. After labeling it, that one you're going to keep it. That's the soil you're going to take to the lab for a comprehensive soil test. Then from the same soil that you mixed, you're just going to get a little bit and you add a little bit of water. After adding a little bit of water, you're going to you're going to put you're going to add your vinegar. And when you add your vinegar, when it fizzes, that means your soil a simple, a simple chemistry, basic chemistry, where acidic things and alkaline things when they mix, they are with some sort of reaction. So when you mix your soil, the one you sampled with the vinegar, when it fizzes, that means your soil is alkaline.
Okay. Think the network is kind of misbehaving at at his end over there. Okay, we hope to actually have him back soon. So while we are actually expecting him to join us, you are actually joining in, you joining us, please comment your name and location. Comment your name and location. Let us know where you are joining us from today. Okay, that's good. Let's see. If you are joining us, just please comment your name and location. Let us know where you're joining us from. Yeah, our facilitator has been on stage with us. We just lost him to network. I think he's back now.
Hey Stefan,
Okay.
sorry, I had some technical difficulties. The network where I am is kind of slow. So as I was saying on soil testing and analysis, yes.
Okay.
After you've done that, that will just give you a simple description of your soil pH, whether it's acidic or alkaline. The reason why I've emphasized on your on testing the pH of the soil is because different crops react different to different soil pH. So let's say, for instance, maize. Maize does well in soil which are slightly acidic compared to when your soil is alkaline. And when your soil is very acidic, there is there are certain nutrients, macro and micronutrients, which might be capped locked in the soil that cannot be available to the plant because of the soil pH. Yes. So it's very important to have your soil, to know your soil pH, because you know what you're going, what type of fertilizer you're going to use, or what measures you are going to put in place for you to shift the soil pH. Yeah. While we are still talking on the soil pH, we are going to talk on ways we can change the soil pH. What measures can we put in place to change the soil pH, whether it's alkaline or acidic? So when you have your soil tested and you find that your soil is acidic, for acidic soil, you are going to use lime. You're going to use agriculture lime to reduce the soil pH from acidic to neutral. Then if your soil are alkaline, that's above the 7, which is neutral, you're going to use gypsum fertilizers. Yes, you're going to use soil a fertilizer called gypsum, which will lower your aquatic alkaline soils. Yes. Then we continue. We are going to move on tillage and soil preparation. There are different types of soil tillage. There's a conventional way and conservation way. For the conventional way, this is the type of tillage that we normally use as small scale farmers and these commercial farmers. Though then the other type is conservation of farming. For conservation of farming, this is a type of tillage where you use sustainable ways of tillage, which includes zero tillage, minimal tillage, or conservational tillage. Yes. Then the reason why I've emphasized on the tillage is because now in this area where we are, we have seen the we've seen the effects of climate change, and with climate change, there should be change in the way that we've been doing our farming. So I recommend we should change our conventional way of farming to conservational way of farming, which is very crucial because when we implement conservational farming or sustainable farming practices in our farming system, it will help us mitigate the effects of climate change. Let's say for the minimal tillage or zero tillage. For the minimal tillage, if we implement zero tillage or minimal tillage in our farming endeavors, it will enhance our soil profile and soil quality. It will help us keep some of the nutrients. It will prevent soil erosion. It will also boost our yields in such a way that in a long run, our soil profile will be perfect and will be needing minimum fertilizer to produce higher yields. Yes. How is it, Stefan? Are we following along, or I'm too fast? Yes.
Yeah, we are with you.
All right, that's great. Then on the soil,
Okay.
we are still on the soil or land
Village
preparation. Yeah.
preparation.
So we are going to talk about soil amendments. What type of amendments or what type of fertilizers can we use in a sustainable way? So one of the things that I'm going to talk about is manure. Manure. There are different types of manure. There are farmyard manure. Farmyard manure. This is the type of manure which can be taken, which we can get from our animals, which is poultry, livestock, cattle or goats, etc. And we also have green manure. What is green manure? Green manure, these are plants, nitrogen plants, example,
Hello.
hello, you can get
Hello. I think we having issue with your audio.
my audio.
Yes, it's not clear. Okay,
Hello, you can get
but
me?
I think it's better this way. It's better this way.
It's better this way.
We can hear
All
you.
right. So I was talking
Yes.
on soil amendments. Soil amendments, one of them is manure. Then I talked about the different types of manure that we can use. We can use farmyard manure. These are manure. This is the manure that comes from animals, living things that. So we can use poultry manure, livestock manure, which comes from goats or cattle. Then the other type of manure we are going to talk about is green manure. Green manure. These are plants which fix nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Yes. The type of green manure I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about legumes. So legumes. These are crops which fix nitrogen in the soil. Example of legumes. I'll talk about beans. Yeah, beans, the local beans. I'm going to talk about velvet beans. I'm going to talk about yeah, a number of green manure. Yes. So for the farmyard manure, you can apply it directly in the soil. Incorporate the soil when you are doing your land. You incorporate it into your soil when you are doing land preparation. Then you can also make compost using your farmyard manure, which will make it a bit of which will make it a bit of powerful because when you compose it, it will incorporate you. It will contain a lot of different nutrients, which are both macronutrients and micronutrients. Yes. Then on the green manure, you can plant the green manure. Let's say the way you say that you are shifting from the rainy season, you're going into the dry season. Whilst you are still have favorable soil moisture, you can plant these green manure like velvet beans, uh, alfalfa, and lucena. Yes, you can plant these, and when they just start flowering, you can cut them, then spread them in a field to in order to improve the soil quality. Yes. No. Yes. My network is bad. Okay. My phone is okay. Yeah, just give me a moment. My network is very bad. Mm. All right. Yeah, thank you. You can get me now? Okay. So, as I was talking on the manure part, manure is very important because if you incorporate this manure in your soil, it will help you lower the cost of production in such a way that you'll be using minimum fertilizer instead of using these synthetic fertilizers which are harmful to our soil. You yes, will act as a replacement for the synthetic fertilizer, which in a long run will will help create an inducive environment and
All right, we hope to have him back soon. We hope to have him back soon. The network at his end is not so favorable right now, so we hope to actually have him back soon. Uh, so if you are joining us, wherever you're joining us from, please just drop your name and location so we can get to know those of you who actually joined us live and where you're joining us from. Okay, I think we have some people here already. We have um, we have Apman joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. We have Balogun joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome. Okay, we're expecting the grand farmer to join us back in. I think one thing is actually speaking on talking about opportunities like most of the times, just trying to recap from what he has said, most of the times in Nigeria, most especially rain-fed farmer, like farmers that produce their crop just only during raining season. After the rain season, they just leave their land and they wait till the to the next year, like the coming year, before they cultivate the land again. Instead of you just leaving the land, yeah, we know grasses grow, we know plants grow, like the unwanted plant, weeds grow on your farmland. Then in the coming year, you come to cultivate the land. Those weeds also add value to the soil. By the time you till them into the soil or thereabout, or you have them in whichever way you have them decay on the farmland as you cultivate uh, your real crop the next year. But it is from what he's saying now, it is advantageous for you not just to allow weeds grow. Like you can actually select what you want to grow. Something you just want to grow on the land for adding nutrients into the soil instead of just any random plants growing on the land occupying the land during the course of the dry season. While you harvest, you still got a bit of moisture in the land. Then you can just plant some green manure. We call it, they are plants that are highly will I say highly nutritious now. Like they are highly nutritious, highly nitrogenous. They even had like leguminous plants, green manures, like we call them green manures. He has actually mentioned some of the plants like alfalfa and some pews like that, like some kind of beans like that. You can actually spread the seed over your farmland and have the seeds over your farmland so that those plants will occupy your farmland all through the period of the dry season. All through the period of the dry season, you would have planted them when you still have a bit of moisture in your soil, that is before we get into the dry season proper. Then you have them grow over the course of the dry season on your farmland. So by the time the rain is resuming, you can then cultivate the land. You plow them into the land, into your soil. That is, they've added nutrients into your soil, and they're adding more nutrients, their organic matter, and the nutrients, they fix them into your soil. And then and then once they've been fixed into your soil, you welcome back, Moyo. I'm just trying to recap what you have shared with them. And once
No, all right. Thank you,
those
thank you,
plants has
thank you. I
actually
really
filled
appreciate.
nutrients into your soil, you're welcome.
No, all right.
Let me
Yeah.
just
So
conclude
I was
this.
talking
Once they
about.
filled nutrients into your soil, hello, can you hear me?
You.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to recap
Yes, I
what
can
you
hear
have
you.
shared. I'm just trying to recap what you have shared about green manuring. The plants they can actually
Mm.
have on their farmland all through the dry season. Then once the rain resume, they can actually have those plants run into their farmland, and they cultivate, they till it into their farmland. Or better still, look for a way they get decayed on the farmland, they add nutrients to the soil, and they even boost the organic content of the soil, which will actually reduce their cost of fertilizer or fertilization in that season. So that is just what I'm trying to
Yes.
explain to them from what you have taught them. So you can take the ground back now, brother.
No, all right. So we've talked about the green manure and the farmyard manure. Now we are going to talk about mulching. 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 This is putting organic materials or non-organic materials in order to retain soil moisture or avoid unnecessary transpiration of soil moisture. So there are two types of mulching, which are one, you can use available materials on the farm. Uh, this is grass. You can use grass. You can use certain leaves, and yes. Then the other type is the use of polythene plastic. Though for polythene plastic, it's not recommended because it doesn't add any organic material in the soil. So the recommend type of manure that I recommend is use of organic materials, organic matter as mulch. Yes. As we've all experienced, most people in the southern region of Africa had a challenge this previous farming season because of the drought that we experienced. But those who are using sustainable practices like conservation of farming and the use of organic manure and mulching, those guys at least had a minimal harvested something because of the practices that they are using. So the importance of mulching with the unpredicted weather patterns are there are a lot of dry spells as we are going into the farming season here in Southern Africa. As we are going into the farming season, we experience a lot of dry spells. But if you mulch your fields, this mulch will act as a reservoir. It will help you retain soil moisture. Hence, even if there is a longer dry spell, your soil and your plants will have moisture to sustain it until the next rain come. So, for mulching, mulching is done after planting, but for those who are doing zero tillage, mulching, since you are not disturbing any soil, uh, the previous crop that you had in your field will act as mulch. Instead of the conventional way of farming, where you use plows, you plow your field, you incorporate the organic matter into the soil. For zero tillage or conservation farming, we utilize the same organic matter to act as our mulch. Hence, even if we experience unfavorable rainfall, our plants will have minimum soil moisture to sustain them till we can have a harvest. Yes. So we are done with the land preparation. Then we will go to the next item on our list, which is seed selection. Seed selection is very crucial. Listen to me. Seed selection is very important because the type of seed that you are going to use, the type of variety that you are going to select will determine the expected yield that you will harvest. So for seed selection, there are a lot of seeds on the market today, a lot of seeds, and some other farmers prefer to keep their own seeds, which will be used, which will recycled seed. Yeah, I can say they recycle their own seed. Those farmers who use OPV type of seeds or indigenous seeds, those guys can recycle their seeds. Though, yeah, we are going to take on the varieties. Each country has what we call ecological zones. So let's say us here in Zambia, we have about 3 ecological zones, which are zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Those zones tell us the expected rainfall that we are going to, the expected rainfall that that specific area is going to receive. So for zone 1, they will receive above 1,000 above 1,000 milliliters of rain, or above 1,000 milliliters of rain per season. Then zone 2, which where I am, will receive to 800 to 1,000 milliliters of rain. Then zone 1, they receive about less than 800 milliliters of rain. So the reason why I'm talking about these ecological zones is they help us in determining what type of variety we are going to use, what type of variety we are going to select. So there are different varieties on the market, which are late maturing varieties, early maturing varieties, and medium maturing varieties. So these ecological zones will give you an overview where you say, uh, for late maturing varieties, they require a lot of rains for them to mature, and they have a longer growing period compared to early maturing varieties. Yes. So when you want to select the right variety for your area, I recommend you talk to your agricultural extension officers. They will give you the right type of variety that you can use in your areas. Then for horticulture production, there are different varieties. Let's say there's hybrid varieties and OPV, which is open pollinated variety. Yes. So these two types of varieties in vegetable production have have an effect on your yield. For hybrids they have a higher yield compared to open OPVs. So yeah, for OPVs, for them, they require a minimum fertilizer guide, and for hybrids they require a lot of fertilizers because of the way they were genetically made. Yes. So we are done with the varieties. Then we are going to talk about seed quality. Seed quality, we are going to talk about those guys who store or recycle their own seeds. Like, let's take for instance, on the market there are what we call hybrid seeds. For hybrid seeds, you cannot recycle that seed, because with each generation the yields drop. Let's say for a certain maize variety, a hybrid maize variety, your unexpected yield, that's about 10 to 13 tons per hectare. That's the expected yield for that hybrid. But if you recycle that seed, the second generation yield will drop to about 5, maybe less than 5 tons a hectare. Then we are going to talk on the hybrid varieties. The hybrid varieties are resistant to certain diseases and pests. That's the good thing with using hybrid varieties. But if you are using your own indigenous varieties, those varieties can be favorable to your environment, but in this era that we are living, there are a lot of diseases and a lot of pests that can attack our crops. But if you use that to recycled seeds, they can't be resistant or tolerant to those diseases and pests, hence leading to dropping of your yields. So seed quality is very important. Always, I will tell this, always source your seeds from a reputable seed company or from your fellow farmers who you know that their seeds are of good quality. Because if you use below quality or poor quality seeds, it will affect your end yield, making us as farmers, since we are very good with numbers, when you use low quality seeds, they will lead to poor yields, hence leading to losses. Yes. Then I'm also going to talk about seed treatment. Seed treatment is very important because when you treat your seeds, uh, it will help you overcome certain diseases and pests which are soil borne. In our soil, since we already talked about that the soil is a living thing. There are different types of organisms, living organisms, which are both beneficial to our plant and non-beneficial to our plant. So the seed treatment comes in to treat our seeds or to make our seeds susceptible to the non-beneficial soil-borne diseases and pests in the soil. Yes, there are different methods that you can use to treat your seeds, and you can use synthetic seed treatment method, or you can use biological or organic seed treatment. I'm going to talk on the organic treatment of seeds. So we might find rodents, which are rats, mouse, etc. Yes. So for you to treat those pests in the soil, you are going to use you can use chili pepper, you can use neem, you can use wormwood, you can use, those are for the pests. Neem, chili pepper, and wormwood are for the pests. Then for the diseases that are found in the soil, you can use aloe vera, you can use lantana camara, yeah, etc. Yeah. So on the seed selection, I'll emphasize use the right seed, use qualitable seeds, and always treat your seeds to avoid soil-borne diseases affecting your crops. Then we're done with the seed selection. We're going to talk about the planting now. Planting. Planting now, we've identified the type of soil that we have, the type of tillage that we are going to use, whether conventional or conservation. We've selected the seeds, whether it's a cash crop, a horticultural crop, or any different type of crop that we want to plant. Then now we are on the planting stage. The planting stage also is very crucial because once we don't time well the planting, it can lead to our crops maturing when the market is flooded, or when we don't time well our planting. There are some climatic conditions, like let's say for onion. Those who planted onion in April or between April September, uh, in the southern region, I bet that they are already done with the harvesting, because once the onion matures and you delay harvesting the onion, and the rain, since you've already started experiencing the rain comes, your onion will rot, or it will start germinating, which will lead to a poor quality of the product, and it won't be it can't be sold on the market because of the quality. Yes, so timing is very important when planting. Let's say for maize. For maize, those people who want to do maize in this farming season, those in the southern region of Africa who want to do maize, uh, there is a small window of planting maize. Uh, when you plant your maize in late November, so that's 20th November going, 20th November going in front, your yield will be reduced because one, your soil temperature will be low, which will lead to poor germination. When your soil temperature is low, there will be poor germination. With poor germination, which will lead to low plant population. Low plant population will lead to poor yields. So timing is very important. Your planting perfectly so that it aligns with the seasons. If you plant your crop, your desired crop, in a certain period, it will mature when the market is flooded with that type of crop or product, which will lead to lower prices, and lower prices will lead to less profit. So I've talked about the timing. I'll also talk about the planting depth. The planting depth is very important. So let's say, for example, those people who are planting seasonal crops, maize, and you did dry planting. For dry planting, you have to plant your seeds between 8 to 10 centimeters. Yes, so that by the time the rains will come, your your by the time the rains are in perfect raining perfectly, your crop won't be affected or won't germinate before the rains are good. So if you are planting rain-fed, which is now, your plant depth should be between 5 centimeters and 6 centimeters for those doing maize. All right. Yeah, so I'm talking about the planting depth. So it's very important to know the planting depth of different crops. The planting depth for maize will be different to the planting depth for soybean, in such a sense that soybean, since it's uh, yes. Then again, on the planting depth, I'm going to talk about what will determine the type of your planting depth will your soil type will determine your planting depth. For those who are planting in heavy soils like clay soil, clay loamy soil, your planting depth should be kind of shallow compared to those who are planting in sandy soils, because in heavy soils, the heavier the soil, the shallower the planting depth. Yes. Then I'll also talk about the planting method. There are different crops require different planting depth or planting method. Actually, different crops require different planting method. So for the method, there are two types method: direct planting and transplanting, where you first raise your crop in a nursery bed, then you transplant it into the main field. So there are types of most of these horticultural crops are recommended to be transplanted. First raised in a nursery bed, then transplanted into the main field. The reason why this is recommended for most of the horticultural crops is because in the first few months of the crop development, you require the crop will require perfect conditions. My phone. Ah, just a moment. Sorry. Mm. Hmm.
Sorry. Okay, I think you can hear me now. Okay, while he's trying to put things together at his end, his device just I think fell off or about an accident happened. So he's just trying to put things in place. So while he's doing that, um, I believe you've been learning one or two things. Because I'm also refreshing myself here, getting one or two things too. Okay, okay, he's back with us now. He's back. Hope there was no major
Yeah, I'm
damage.
back. No, 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 no. It's not. It's all right.
All right.
So on
We
the
are glad to
planting
have you back.
methods, yeah, I was talking about planting. So on planting, we've talked about the timing, which is a perfect time. Timing leads to greater yields, and planting depth. For the planting depth, different types soil types require different planting depth. For those in heavy soils like clay and clay loamy soil, they require a shallower planting depth compared to those in light soils like sand. They require a little bit of a deeper planting depth. Then we've also talked about the planting method, which is direct planting and transplanting. Then I also mentioned that for most of these horticultural crops, it's recommended for you to first raise them in a nursery bed, and when they are of the perfect stage of planting, you transplant them into the main field. Then yes, uh, with that said, on planting, on the planting method, then we are going to talk about the direct planting. For the direct planting, that's why we first started with timing. If you have no irrigation in place, which will require of you, which will require of you to plant early, so you have to wait for the rain for you to plant, to direct plant, if you have no irrigation in place. Yes. We are also going to talk about crop management. Crop management now, we've planted, our crop has germinated perfectly. We are scouting every day. There are no diseases which are showing. Our our crop stand is very nice. Our plant population is right. Then we are going to talk on what management now can we put in place for us to have a maximum yield or a very good harvest. What practices are we going to put in place for us to have a perfect yield or a perfect a bumper harvest? One of the crucial things we're going to talk about is irrigation. Irrigation is very important in such a way that no crop can grow. No crop can grow without water, without irrigating it. So irrigation is very important in such a way that it will provide our crops with good water. Yes. So one thing I'm going to talk about is a reliable source of water for those who are doing horticulture or vegetable production. Irrigation is very important in such a way that uh, when the crop is growing or the crop is developing, a different stage comes with a different requirement of water. Let's say in the first few days, for those who are doing now horticulture or vegetable production, in the first few days, it's crucial that you water your crops maybe twice a day, depending with your climatic conditions or where you are. Yes, it's important that you water. Excuse me, sorry. You water your crops in the nursery bed maybe twice a day. Yes. The twice a day will, that's morning and evening. Yes, it's very important. Then for those who are doing rainfed, we've all seen how the effects of climate change are affecting our industry, the agricultural industry. It's very saddening. But as farmers, we are innovators. We have to be innovative in our way of farming. So we have to put up irrigation in place in case the rains don't rain as required, or we don't have a favorable rainy season. We have to put up an irrigation setup in place. There are different types of irrigation that we can put in place. We have overhead irrigation, which comprises of sprinklers, center pivots, and microjets. Then we have drip type of irrigation, which is very friendly to us small scale farmers or those who are practicing sustainable agriculture. Because for the drip irrigation, uh, it doesn't uh, it doesn't provide all your field with water, which leads to wastage. It only supplies water to the roots of your crop, which is very economical because you won't have water wastage. Then there's also the type of irrigation which we call flooding. The flooding type is uh, is is not recommended because there's a lot of water wastage, and it also leads to leaching, which are the down movement of nutrients, because we provide our field with more water than the crops can take up at a given moment. So the recommended type of irrigation, depending on the type of crop that we're doing, but for those in horticulture or vegetable production, the recommended type of irrigation is drip irrigation, because one, it's easy to set up, it's cheaper compared, it's cheaper in a long run, because the running costs are cheaper compared to irrigation. Reduces leaching of nutrients. It also reduces the growth of weeds, because it only produces, or it only delivers water to a certain section of a crop, which is the root part of the the crop. That's where the drip irrigation provides or delivers the water. So irrigation is very important. Uh, there are different schedules of irrigation. Mostly of these, most of, like for us, for since we are using small portion, we are doing a small portion. Everything is under drip irrigation. Everything is under drip irrigation. And what I've learned from the drip irrigation is it's way cheaper compared to the types of irrigation we used to use before. And the labor, there is no the requirement of large labor for you to irrigate. All you have to do is switch off some certain valves, and the irrigating will do itself. Then on the crop management, I'm going to talk about pests and diseases. Pests and diseases, the crucial part of crop production. Pests and diseases, if not prevented or cured, can lead to about 100% loss. There are certain diseases and certain pests which can eradicate your field in a matter of days, maybe 48 days or 48 hours. Your crop would be a disaster if you don't prevent or control that certain pests and diseases. Like for my fellow tomato farmers, the most important pests and diseases is tuta absoluta, leaf miner. It's very important in such a way that it can reduce our yields by 100% if not controlled. The other pest I'm going to talk about is red spider mite. Red spider mite, that one, that one, if not controlled, my guy, you are doing tomatoes or these crops in the nightshade family. Ah, anyway, yes. So these pests and diseases, there are a lot of ways that you can control these pests and diseases.
Hope to have him back soon. So he has actually took us on a journey from land preparation, that is even the decision making of what to plant and where to plant. So he was able to take us through that, and then now he's on crop management, of which he has actually explained to us on water management, and he has spoken to us on water and irrigation management, and he has also right now is on pest and diseases management. And one thing he mentioned was that pest and disease not well managed could actually wipe off your farm. That is, could actually lead to 100% loss, like a kind of total loss of farmland. Moyo, you welcome back.
Yes, Mr. Stephen. Yeah, well, please bear with me. Where I am, the network is very bad. Yeah, but I think everybody, I'm edible enough, and the quality of the audio is very good, and everybody can get me. Yes. So I was talking about the pest and disease management under crop management. Pest and diseases, these are very crucial aspect in crop production because these this aspect, this part can lead to about can determine whether you have a bumper harvest or you make 100% loss if you don't control these pest and disease. So there's a technique which we call IPM, which is integrated pest management or integrated disease management. For this IPM, we're going to talk about the cultural, biological, mechanical, and chemical uh, pest management. Biological, cultural, mechanical, and chemical pest and disease management. On the biological aspect, on the biological part, we are going to talk the use of phenoms to eradicate the pests. Let's say for those in vegetable production, those who are doing cabbage, there's a pest which we call DBM, diamond back moth. Diamond back moth, it's a very crucial high reproduction rate.
Okay, the network again. Uh, the network again. Let's hope to have him back shortly. Let's hope to have him back shortly. Okay. Okay, we lost him again. Let's check one more time if we can still have him come join us. And but if we can't, we may actually have another section to continue this class. Let's check if we can have him back shortly. Uh, in a good like a good communication, like smooth transmission. But if we can't, we may actually call for a second section where we'll be looking into the concluding part of this module. Since we are now on the crop management proper, we are now on the crop management proper. Okay, you're welcome back, brother. I think the
All right.
network is actually giving you a tough time over there. So I'm thinking let's try it one more time if we can actually have a smooth conversation. But if not, we may actually
Yeah,
tend to
it's
break
really
this
doing me bad.
transmission, and we may tend to break this transmission and have the concluding part of this module possibly on WhatsApp. Or what do you think? Did you get me? Boyo, did you get me? Hello? Okay, let's wait for his response. Let's see. We cannot we cannot continue since the network is fluctuating at its end there, we may actually call for a change in the platform of communication so we can have the concluding part on our community, that is the training community on WhatsApp. Moyo, are you there? At those points, dear participants, I think we've actually tried our best, and the facilitator, Bekitemba Moyo, is not really having it cool with the network over there. So we're going to be having a continuation of this module on our WhatsApp platform, and the time will be communicated to us on that same platform. So if you've got any question on the part he has actually discussed, and other parts which has to do with crop management, you can prepare them. You can drop them on those video on YouTube, or you also have them sent to the training WhatsApp platform. Uh, for those of you that actually join us live, thank you so much. Your presence actually made today uh, enjoyable. And then for those that doesn't have, that do not have the ability, let's say the privilege to join us while the program was live, you can always watch the video on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Agro Optimizer. So the course continue on the WhatsApp training platform. Thank you for joining. I remain your humble servant, Stephen Pokuola. Bye.